With the MedSafety app, you can report suspected side effects from medicines and vaccines and keep up to date with safety information on the products you use. This video will show you how you can use the MedSafety app to report an adverse event following immunization, more commonly known as AEFI. You can submit a report for yourself or on behalf of a patient if you are a healthcare professional. For more information on the app's full list of features, visit www.web-radr.eu. To report a suspected adverse event to either a medicine or a vaccine, select the Report tab, which is the fourth tab at the bottom of the screen. Click on New Report. If you haven't created an account, please use the drop-down list to indicate if you are a healthcare professional or a member of the public. If you are reporting an adverse reaction to a medicine, select the option Report a suspected side effect to a medicine. To report an adverse event from a vaccine, click the option Adverse Event Following Immunization. Please make sure that you select the correct option. In this video, we will complete the AEFI reporting form. Please complete as many details as possible. This provides important information to better understand the reported adverse event. Some fields are mandatory to fill in. These have been indicated with a star. On this page, enter your details as the reporter. If you have created an account, your details will be automatically filled in the relevant fields. Select your appropriate designation from the drop-down list. Enter your name, email address, and other details. This is important as we may need to contact you for additional information on the adverse event. Enter the healthcare institution and the department you work. Lastly, specify the date that the patient notified the event into the health system. This is the date that the patient first reported the adverse event. If you are submitting a report as a guest, you will need to confirm that you understand the privacy statement. Select Next at the bottom right of the screen to go to the following page. There are 5 short pages which need to be completed before the report can be submitted. You can save the report at any time and return to it at a later stage. To do this, click on Save, which you can find at the top right-hand corner of the screen. Saved reports can be found under Pending Reports. Now, enter information on the patient. Enter the patient's name or initials by typing them into the relevant fields and complete as much information as possible about the patient's location. At a minimum, please enter the patient's city, district, and state or province. The patient's sex, date of birth, and age group can be selected from the drop-down list in each field. This information helps with analyzing adverse events in different patient populations. You will need to complete at least one of the patient identifiers to move on to the next page. These identifiers are patient initials, sex, age, and pre-vaccination ID number. Select Next at the bottom right of the screen to go to the following page. To add the name of the vaccine received, click on Add under Vaccine Details. In the top field, start typing the name of the vaccine. As you type, a list of vaccines will appear. Click on the arrow next to the correct vaccine to select it. If you cannot find the vaccine name, type in as much information as you know about it in the search bar. Now, select the date the patient was vaccinated and for which dose the adverse event was experienced. If the vaccine only requires 1 dose, select First dose. Enter in the batch number for the vaccine. If you are unsure of the batch number, type unknown in this field. If known, select the expiry date from the drop-down list. Then, click on Add at the bottom of the screen to add these details to the report. In the case where more than one vaccine was administered at the same time, you must report all vaccines administered to this patient. To add an additional vaccine, click on Add and fill in the relevant information for the other vaccine, repeating the steps described. If you know of other medicines or vaccines taken by the patient in the last 3 months, please click on the second Add button and enter their names. This may be important to help identify potential drug interactions. Select Next at the bottom right of the screen to go to the following page. Now, enter the details about the adverse events that were experienced. Click on the first field to access a drop-down list of possible adverse events. Select any adverse event experienced by the patient by clicking on the relevant items on the list. When you have completed your selection, click on Done at the top right-hand corner of the screen. Indicate the date that the adverse events started. If known, provide more information on the time of onset of the adverse events. To do this, enter the number in the third field on the page and select the unit of time from the drop-down list in the next field. For example, if the adverse events occurred 12 hours after vaccination, type in 12 and select hour from the drop-down list. Under Adverse Event Outcome, click on the drop-down arrow to select the appropriate outcome of events. If the patient has experienced any other reactions, then click Add. In the Reaction Details field, type in the reaction and select the most appropriate option from the suggestions list, which will appear as you type. For example, if the patient had a rash, type in rash and select the most appropriate option. Complete the remaining details associated with the reaction and click Add to include these details in the report. You can repeat this process to add any other reactions that the patient has experienced. You can change the information entered for a reaction by clicking on the Edit icon. Click on the Delete icon to remove the reported reaction entirely. Once you have added all adverse events, provide more description on them. In the Available field, include information on the symptoms shown by the patient and any other relevant details. Using the example of a rash, you might enter a description such as, the patient stated that they had a red-hot rash which itched for 3 days and caused blistering before drying out and healing. To complete this page, select the outcome of the reaction from the available options. This can be done by checking the empty boxes beside each outcome. Note, multiple outcomes can be selected if applicable. Select Next at the bottom right of the screen to go to the final page. Finally, add details of the patient's relevant medical history before submitting the report. This includes information such as underlying medical conditions, allergies, family history, and any known adverse reactions to other medicines or vaccines in the past. This is critical information that will be considered when analyzing the reported adverse event. Before submission, we recommend that you use the back arrow at the bottom left-hand side of the screen to review the full report and ensure that all information is as accurate as possible. Once you have reviewed your report, click Submit on the last page to submit it. Once the report is submitted, you will receive a message in the app and an email confirming submission. If you have created an account, you can view your submitted reports in Sent Reports. Internet access is required to submit a report. If you do not have internet access, you can save the report and submit it when you have connectivity again. Remember, you can access saved reports in pending reports. We thank you in advance for using the MedSafety app and for your important contribution to ensuring the safety of medicines and vaccines.